You have to speak into existence that which you want, and most people have loose lips and loose minds. Driven Mofos, welcome back to another episode of The Underestimated Entrepreneur. Well, you probably heard the quote before, you need to speak into existence that which you want. Now, why is this important? Because our brain or our mind or our thoughts are a way of communicating with ourself and maybe a way of communicating with others. And what I find is that most people speak into existence the things that they don't want, and it's not a good idea. So when I listen to someone, they're like, you know what, Michael, I just don't want stress. And I'm like, I guarantee they're speaking into existence more stress. I just don't want frustration. I just don't want pressure. And they will speak into existence that pressure because they think about it all the time. Do you know most people's lives reflect more of their internal thoughts and their own dialogue with themselves than anything else? So if you think about this, how many times have you woken up stressed about something that doesn't matter? How often have you woken up stressed or worried about something that has not even happened yet, but you're worried that it may happen and so you stress out? You know, I spoke to someone a couple of weeks ago and they're like, oh, the economy's getting pretty bad. Like, what happens if we go into a recession? And I was like, perfect. It's good. Because all of the sloppy competitors that I have that are doing a really shit job at managing their own business, that are managing their staff ineffectively, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to go and take them. I'm going to take their good staff. I'm going to go and get their good customers, and I'm going to bring them into what we do. Why? Because it's an opportunity. And every day there are opportunities. If the economy's tough, perfect. There are great opportunities in there. If the economy's easy, that's also great because there's good opportunities in there. If you see life as opportunity, then you'll probably have more opportunities. If you see life as being a challenge and stressful and what ifs, then life's going to be really, really tough. Now look, the economy could swing. There might be a recession. There might be a depression. Who fucking knows? I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. And when I listen to these absolute morons on social media and online that say, crypto's going up. Well, that's an absolute. How do you know crypto's going up? If I said to that same individual, right, if crypto doesn't go up, will you give me all your money and pay me back every cent that I lose on that? Because you're saying a statement in absolutes. You're saying it's 100% going to go up. But no one knows because I can't tell the future. Can you tell the future? And they can't tell the future. I hear all these people in share market reports and they go, BHP is going to go up. They've just got this. And I'm like, but no one knows. Okay, no one really knows. No one knows what is going to happen to tomorrow. The only place that we even understand the future is in our own minds. So we essentially create the future. And then our past is a representation of the perceptions that we have of the past. And our perceptions are fucked up all the time. If you get a car accident, you have 5 people who see that car accident, they all have a different perception of what happened. You can go to your family and you say, hey, mum, when I grew up as a kid, you did X, Y, and Z. And your mum will say, no, that's not how it was. It was never like that. And you'll say, yes, it was. And they go, no, it's not. Why? Because we have a different perception. If you look at studies in psychology, they say that 50% of all of our past thoughts about certain things that happen to us are true and the other 50% is untrue. Now, I don't know how they clarify that because it's a very, very hard thing to clarify. But no one knows what 50% is true and what 50% is false and made up because we add in information based on our values, based on our emotional volatilities, based on our hormonal states. So there are so many other factors, which is why one person can walk down the street and a car drives past and they go, wow, that's a Ferrari. And the other person goes, I didn't even see it. How could they not? They were looking at the same road. Why? Because they think differently. They think differently based on their past. So our past is 50% not true based on the field of psychology of science or the field of science of psychology. 50% is not true. 50% of our past we make up. We just add in information and over time it changes. Like there is probably things that happened to you that you thought were the worst thing that ever happened. And now you look back at them and you go, actually, I'm glad it happened. How did that happen inside your own mind? Why? Because we change information and data over time about our past. So our past is a false construct. The future is also a false construct because we make it up inside of our own mind, which is why if you want to live a great life, you've got to get clear with your visions. Because when you get clear with your visions and your mission, you actually start to create the future that you want because you're wiring your brain to see the things that are going to get you there. And that's how you set effective goals and why you set effective goals. But without a mission, you might be setting a goal in order to achieve something that's not even important to you because you don't actually know what you want to achieve. Okay, this is why creating a success map for your life, like I do at my Thrive Time event, is an absolute game changer for those of you who have come and done it. Some of you haven't. If you haven't, I highly recommend doing it. That's why I give a money back guarantee, because it is a game changer. It will change your life. Okay, it is unbelievable because it gives you that clarity to create the future that you want. But here's the fun part, right? Moment by moment, we can change the way we think. We can change the way we communicate with ourselves through our internal dialogue and our internal language and that which we speak. So if we don't like the world that we see, I highly recommend changing the way that you speak to yourself about the world or about your life. Because if you're not monitoring that internal dialogue that you have with yourself, that internal self-talk, and then you're not speaking the words that you want to bring into existence, then you may be bringing into existence a life that you don't want. So when I hear people complaining and bitching and moaning and whinging all the time, and they watch the news and they're like, well, but what's happening overseas and what's happening here? And did you watch the football? And they get all amped up and excited. And I listen to the way that they communicate about their life, and it's highly volatile. The purpose of life, if you want to grow to another level, every level of life comes with a level of chaos. The better you get at structuring that chaos, the more you grow. So even in business, as your business grows, chaos is created through growth. If you're smart enough, you go and learn what you need to learn and you structure that chaos. When you structure that chaos, what it does is it allows you to create more certainty, safety, and stability in that growth and more predictability. But then as you do that, you'll grow again and chaos happens. So those people in life who want an easy life, they never run headfirst into chaos, which means they never really grow. And so what we have to be careful of, the things that we can control about our life, we can control our thoughts, we can control our perceptions, we can control our beliefs because they come from perceptions. Okay, we can control the meaning that we place on certain things. We can control the way we act. All of those things are controlled by our perceptions. But one of the most important things that we can control is the way we communicate with ourselves in our own mind and the language that we speak to others. Be very, very, very careful about what you speak into existence. Okay, because it may be the difference between you living an extraordinary life, crushing it, getting amazing results, and falling to bits, stressed out, burnt out, tired, wanting to escape, wanting to get away, feeling afraid, not wanting to grow to the level of your current potential. And if you live like that, there is always going to be this tension inside your own mind because only you know what you have the capacity to become in life. And if you're not becoming that thing, it creates so much stress and tension inside your own mind, you'll shut down. I believe that is part of the reason why so many people in this day and age have things like depression, anxiety disorders, mental health issues, because they know what they have the capacity to become. But because of their fears, their worries, their anxiety, and we're in a society and a mental health industry that reinforces this idea of all this trauma and all these problems and everything like that. I meet so many people who spend more time talking about fucking trauma than they do their own goals. And then they wonder why their life is shit. So be very, very careful about that which you speak into existence. Anyway, Driven Mofos, have a great day. Thanks for jumping on this episode again. I really appreciate each and every one of you. What I do know is it takes massive courage to change. It takes massive courage to grow. And it takes massive courage to make better decisions to live a better life. And so I appreciate each and every one of you because you're all on here and you're all listening to this because I assume that you want a better life. Anyway, keep kicking massive goals and thanks for being part of this amazing community.